All right, so we are starting with our spiders overpowered by Tier Zoo. Mind you, any arachnophobia people, you gotta get the fuck out. And I used to hate spiders, but now I'm kind of just like, if you're not on me or near me, we can be cool. But other than that, like I don't have no problems with them. Other than they look weird sometimes, like literally like that.
Arthropods have been one of the most dominant factions in the game since pretty much the very beginning.
What are those things
Safety
called?
provided by their tough exoskeletal armor gave the arthropod player base a lot of room to experiment with new builds. One of the most successful examples is the spider, a unique arthropod build with a whole
Okay, am I slow?
Arsenal of powerful abilities.
I didn't know spiders were alive back then. I can't lie.
Today, we're discussing
am I slow for that? I might be.
Abilities and their matchups to demonstrate just how overpowered they truly are. But before we talk about all of their busted attributes,
I think that's better.
First we have to talk about the least overpowered thing about them, their base stats. While spiders are some of the most effective predators the game has ever known.
So this is a new stat he's added, perception. I actually like that. I mean, I'm assuming it's specific for the spider because it's multiple eyes.
It's not because their raw stats are anything special. In fact, if anything, their stats make them look pretty pathetic.
Yeah, they look
at first glance.
terrible.
There's a common misconception that spiders are like absurdly strong for their size. And although they can indeed lift things 10 times their own body weight, that's honestly not even par for the course when it comes to their weight class. The real kings of the strength category, builds like the ant and beetle, are several times stronger. In fact, much of the spider's skill set is tailored around allowing spiders to take down large prey without needing to be strong enough to physically restrain it themselves.
How did the wasp lose this?
Defensively, things are even worse.
Bro, it must have got third-partied or something. I don't know.
Despite being more closely related to scorpions, their exoskeleton is more akin to that of a soft, plump cat.
Wait, I forgot. The back part, I'm going to try to not pause a lot, but the back part is filled with liquid, right? Isn't it like if that thing pops, they're just dead?
Caterpillar than anything else.
I think that's the case.
Unarmored and difficult for the spider to guard against.
That's the heart
from a predator can easily one-shot them.
Well, where else would it be?
Is their only good stat, with the rest of them being mid at best. Of course, that is on average. Some spider builds do specialize in mobility or raw strength,
the tarantula,
which I talked more about in my spider tier list video. Anyway, the point is, what makes spiders broken is not their stats, but their abilities. Spiders have access to a vast array of powerful perks that dramatically elevate their survival and combat capabilities.
Okay, that picture actually just reminded me. I know what I just said about pausing. Fuck that, though. Has anyone ever known someone that's owned a spider? I'm going to be honest. I feel like if you own a spider, I'm going to look at you a little bit different. Owning the spider is already like far enough in my eyes. But I've had someone in front of me like pick up the spider, try to give it in my hand. It's like, no, I'm gonna drop it. I'm letting go.
Real quick, let's go over some of the minor ones first. The spider's appendages may seem pretty unimpressive, and sure, compared to a scorpion's claws or a locust's legs, they're nothing special. But a few things. They do have small claws at the end, which grant spiders excellent climbing mobility.
I didn't know that.
Similar to a lizard's tail, a spider's leg can snap off if hit by a grappling attack in order to escape a combo. Unlike the lizard, though, losing only 12% of your legs is a lot less of a sacrifice than losing your only weapon.
Exactly.
Many players don't even have the nerve to mess with spiders in the first place, though, because of their next ability,
that is
venom.
Crazy looking.
With a few exceptions, every spider relies at least partially on venom to bolster their combat strength. This gives their attacks bonus damage, making it a useful deterrent on defense. But more importantly, their venom inflicts the paralysis status effect, immobilizing their prey so that it can be more easily carried and consumed. Because of how low the spider's base power stat is, this venom often needs to be extremely potent, able to immediately incapacitate its target, giving it no chance to counterattack or escape.
I know it's like just recognized and like a common thing to know, but it's just wild that we have like natural alive creatures that just create poison to kill other things. Like that is wild. Humans are cool and all, but all we got is the thinker ability and some throwing ability. And sweating. You know, we got a lot, but you know, I want to be able to cause poison to come out my mouth or something.
Okay, but enough beating around the bush. All of those abilities pale in comparison to the spider's signature special ability, spinnerets. On this channel, there are a handful of abilities that I bring up over and over as being meta-definingly broken.
Damn.
Tool use,
He's been
flight,
doing this a long time.
echolocation, color change, these all can make or break a character's placement on the tier list. I think silk spinning belongs in this same category. This ability is how spiders broke the game. It is one of the most versatile abilities of—
Bro, I fucking hate when spiders do this dumb shit on my ceiling, bro. I swear to God, I've had a spider land in my hair twice. Like, I'll be walking somewhere, right? One time it happened in like this old room in this abandoned spot. It was fucking terrible. The thing was huge. But I was walking and then it's like dangling from the thread from the top and it just lands on my head and I feel it and I have to like touch my head to see what's there. I look, it's a spider. Bro, I wanted to like cry so bad.
With application.
Yeah, but any spider I see do this, I just gotta cut that shit at the bud. We not having that.
Spanning nearly every aspect of survival, from mobility to offense to defense to—
that is too furry, bro. Like, why do some of them have fur? Like, is it cold climate? I'm actually serious. It's got to be like water or cold climate. Why do they have fur any other point?
Break it down.
Okay.
The most well-known use is, of course, the standard web trap. A spider player will construct
a sticky net-shaped
trap and simply wait for an unsuspecting player to accidentally fly
What's up, Marcus?
Contact with the web immediately inflicts the restrained status condition, which is pretty much instant GG's versus a build that can one-shot you if it lands.
Never mind. If I see these spiders, I'm killing them on sight. I'm looking like I'm flashbanged right here. Hold up. If I see a house spider, I'll get like a piece of paper and let it outside, right? I'm not going to kill it all the time. But if I see one of these motherfuckers, one of this little ugly bitches, whatever this thing is, if I see one of these, you're damn right, I'm shooting it. I'm shooting it. I'm not just killing it. It's dying.
Which is pretty much instant GG's versus a build that can one-shot you if it lands a hit. But trapping prey really only scratches the surface when it comes to the utility of silk and spinnerets. I'd argue the ability to spin webs buffs literally every aspect of spider gameplay,
that is just
and
insane.
Completely negates all the
they just
shortcomings of their
tightrope
stats.
all the time.
In general, spiders are not all that nimble. Their large abdomens are fairly cumbersome, and without wings, they're far below average as far as arthropods go. But the amount of—
this is my last pause for a while. There is this one channel that I used to watch that helped me get over my little disgust of spiders for the most part. And he had this pet tarantula that looked something like this, but it was a different shade of coloring, I think. Bro, it was so sad. The thing was pregnant and it like imploded. That was one of them and it was super rare. The other one, he didn't drop. He opened the cage to feed it, right? He turned to get the food and then the spider just scurried out and splattered on the ground and its like abdomen exploded. I was like, damn, that's kind of sad, but it's still ugly though. Kill it again.
Nimble. Their large abdomens are
What's
fairly
up, Santana?
cumbersome, and without wings, they're far below average as far as arthropods go. But the amount of additional movement options web spinning gives you is insane. Silk can be used to cross massive gaps with ease. It can be used to completely negate falling damage.
Okay.
It can be used to quickly ascend
The
from a low
Donkey Kong
position.
banana.
And in some cases, it can even be used to fly, albeit without much directional control. But
speaking of flying, bro, where is it? Hold on. Oh, this is what they do. Hold on. So apparently there's this thing called ballooning they do where they knit like a parachute damn near, go to a high spot and jump off. That is wild. Like, why are they doing this?
But also without the need for cumbersome wings. Next, let's talk about
If
stealth.
that ever happens
While
to me, I'm
many
crying.
spiders do have decent camouflage, webs complement their ability to hide in a few ways.
Oh my God.
The first is just that it enables them to hide in plain sight by positioning themselves away from places that a player would know.
Show of hands. Who likes spiders? I'm actually curious. There has to be one person for every like 50, I feel, that is like, I love spiders.
Normally check. It's very hard for eyes to focus on something unless they already know the general area to look. So
True.
just by nature of sitting in an unorthodox spot,
Not
many
you?
players will
Yeah, I'm
completely
right
miss
there
you.
with you, man.
But if a
Fuck
player does
spiders for the
detect
most
a
part.
spider's presence, there's an advanced technique they can employ to give themselves a better
Hey, if you're watching the video, like and sub too.
chance to escape. By mashing back and forth on your controller, you can cause the web to vibrate, temporarily granting you the blurred buff, boosting your evasion and making it much more likely that incoming attacks will miss.
They do this on purpose.
Webs may be the most useful for boosting the spider's offense. We already talked about the web trap, but there are many more ways a spider
This has
can
gotta
use its
be
webs to
like a
increase its
crazy
odds of a successful
situation.
hunt. A spider can use its webs to increase its odds of a successful hunt. Web traps
I
are
just
most
don't get
useful
how
against
that
flying
shit come
birds,
out.
But webs
Like,
can also be cast out as a net to target players.
I swear they
further
have
on
an
the ground
infinite
more
supply or
effectively,
something.
essentially bringing the web to them rather than waiting and hoping they wander in. Or
They
if
got
you
that
want to get
infinity
even more
backpack.
extreme, silk can be fired as a sticky projectile to pin down opponents at a safe distance. But you don't need to get anywhere
I didn't
near
know
that
they could
fancy
shoot it
with
like that.
Even just the basic concept of using a strand of silk to tether yourself to a surface opens up so many attack options
just
in
looks
combat. Let me give you an
icky.
example. Pouncing strikes are one of the riskiest attacking moves a player can employ in combat.
Okay.
They're excellent for closing distance on a target and dealing damage simultaneously. But if you miss, the momentum from the jump can result in your character ending up in a dangerous situation.
Yikes.
Pounce is usually seen as the signature move of the Cat faction. And in those examples, the worst case scenario is usually just putting yourself in range of a counterattack.
Oh my god.
But for builds in lower weight classes, and especially arboreal ones, whiffing a pounce attack can
Is
literally
he about
send you
to
falling to your
lose?
doom. Literally send you falling to your doom.
Yeah, I thought you meant the
For
spider's
spiders,
hair.
This risk is completely
My
negated with a
bad.
single silk tether, meaning jumping spiders can get
That thing
super
just
greedy with their
teleported.
attacks without
That's
needing
crazy.
to worry about poor positioning. Silk can even be used to approach from unconventional angles that players aren't used to covering. Great for
That
allowing jumping
motherfucker's
spiders to
spying
attack
on
other
him. Oh
spiders'
my
weak
god.
points. It really is just an incredibly broken ability, especially for the jumping spider, which can combo silk production with its excellent burst mobility. We're not done though, because silk production can also be used defensively.
I forgot birds
mainly
just
in
be
the form of
stealing
base
shit.
construction. The standard web trap is technically a form of this, though it's probably the least defense-oriented and frankly
Just
leaves
gone.
you quite open to an attack. But skilled players can construct webs in a far more
Oh my god. Okay, this is one of the other things I hate about spiders. When webs look like this, I hate it. It's too thick for me to see. If it's looking like string, I don't mind. But if it's like this, it's looking like a passageway of a nose. I don't like that.
defensive manner if they choose. Styles like the tent web provide much more cover at the cost of
Oh my-
visibility. But
like,
if you want
they
to
got
really
all
max
these
out your
type of
defenses, the
weapons.
trapdoor spider's strategy can't be beat. Rather than using a sticky web to trap its opponents,
That
it
motherfucker
instead
got
digs a
grabbed,
burrow and uses silk to
yanked.
reinforce the
Yeah,
walls
that's too
and
many
help control
webs.
the temperature inside, while also laying out a few tripwires on the outside to allow the spider to detect when other players are in range of an ambush. It is
Whoa. He said tripwires. So they lay like actual string on the ground right here for them to actually trip. I swear, humans stole everything that we got. Like literally everything we stolen.
also laying out a few tripwires on the outside to allow the spider to detect when other players are in range
Where
of an
is
ambush.
it?
It is admittedly a bit less precise than more accurate.
Yo, actually, oh my god, my heart actually skipped a beat. Holy shit. Let's not do that again, Tierzu. Oh my god. I actually hate he just did that. Oh my god, my heart. Okay.
To detect when other players are in range of an
Yo.
ambush. It is
I
admittedly a
thought,
bit
okay, I thought this moss rock here was the spider, but it's over here
less
with the
precise
leaf.
than more active hunting types.
Oh
are,
my
though.
god.
Now, if you really want to go crazy with it, most of the spider's usual enemies aren't going to look for you.
Yeah, that
underwater.
just scared the fuck
So
out of
if
me
you've got
too,
the guts
Snowy.
to
I
dive
actually had
down,
to
you can construct
go
a
back.
fell web underwater and use that as your home base while you hunt for fish and tadpoles. It's
I
a
don't like
high-risk,
they are
high-reward
also in the
wasteland.
water. Bro, okay, have you been in the water with a spider? Those motherfuckers are fast for no reason. Like, you expect them to be moving slow in the water because they move, like, fast on that land. You know, like, they can't get both worlds. Wrong. They get both worlds. They just move
Given
fast
how
for
many
no
dangerous
reason.
Builds lurk below the surface.
Killing
Overall,
tadpoles.
Spiders have an incredible array of traits, and with smart play, they can subvert just about all of their weaknesses. However, there are still some vulnerabilities that skilled players can exploit. So let's
Nah,
talk
you
about their
haven't?
matchups.
Yeah, I don't recommend it.
The
I
spider's
have a
best
pool, so
matchups
I
are,
was
of course,
unlucky enough for it to
flying insects.
happen.
Their wings get easily tangled in the web and can get torn up as they try to escape. Getting trapped is almost certainly GG. for
Wait,
them in
is
the
he
web.
saying the cicada
Spider's
is a
best
counter?
matchups are, of course, flying insects.
Oh, wait, no.
Their wings get easily tangled in the web and can get torn up as they try to escape.
Okay.
Getting trapped is almost certainly GG for them. Reptiles may seem like they should have a solid matchup against spiders.
You would
and
think.
of course, when there are massive size discrepancies, it can be pretty unfair. But for
Oh
less
my
tanky
God.
reptiles, spiders are a huge threat.
Motherfucker, is that a snake? Is he wrapping up a snake in the water? How does the snake get in this situation? Can we discuss this? You know what? We're moving on.
Tanky
Because
reptiles,
how do you get
spiders
grabbed
are a
like
huge
this?
Threat. Scale armor is great for blocking slashing damage.
Too shiny.
Their piercing fangs can puncture right through their defenses and inflict devastating venomous bites.
You hate snakes? I'm actually on the opposite. I actually love snakes. Snakes are cool. I actually hated seeing that get done.
Matchup also really helps it sink in just how strong spider silk is.
Is that a black? That's a black widow. So spiders could just kill anything. Cause I haven't seen it like in person, but spiders kill birds too. What don't spiders kill? I'm not as
Even
terrified.
medium-sized reptiles can't
I think it's
easily
the
shake it
eyes
off.
maybe, or the legs.
Frogs, and in particular tree frogs,
maybe just
are an
the fucking
especially
fur.
explosive matchup.
Gross.
Because both frogs and spiders have incredibly low defenses, one wrong move is all it takes.
I always think about this. I always have this thought. I know I'm pausing a lot. Do animals care if they eat dirt? You know how like if we get like one speck of food, well, not one speck, but you know what I mean? Like if we mix our food, we can obviously tell and it might cause discomfort. Do they just not care? I guess they don't have a choice. A couple days ago, I walked into a spider web. Bro, I hate when that happens. In my backyard, I have these steps like that go down, obviously. Spiders love to set the net right at the face structure, but they leave it thin enough so I can't see it. So whenever I'm letting my dog out or to let him go on a walk or anything, I walk outside, I'm just bombarded with some fucking web in my face.
Frogs and spiders have incredibly low defenses. One wrong move is all it takes. Frogs can easily one-shot spiders, and because of their excellent burst mobility, it's difficult for spiders to evade their attacks.
Okay.
But frogs can also easily get caught in a spider's web while jumping through the trees. And once stuck, a spider can pierce through the frog's paper-thin defenses like nothing.
Yeah, they don't have
resulting
defense.
in immediate paralysis. A highly volatile matchup, and surprisingly neutral given the amphibian's low-tier status. Beetles are an interesting case. They are flying insects.
Can they
but
get
because
stung?
of their absurdly high power and defense stats, they're a challenge for spiders to overcome even when caught in their web.
Yeah, it's like a cancel
Their armor
out.
is so thick that a spider's fangs might not be able
What
to
is
pierce through,
that?
and they're so strong
That's like an
that
emerald
even when
beetle.
fully enveloped in a web cocoon, they can sometimes tear through. Spider players just sitting and waiting for beetles to either free themselves or die of exhaustion. Birds are typically seen as the worst matchup for all terrestrial arthropods.
No
But
duh.
at the same time, silk web traps are highly effective
It's caught. I see the web. It's like right here.
against flying
I lied.
enemies.
I
and
thought
birds
it
are no
was.
exception.
It's
Webs
definitely
are strong
caught
enough
though.
to capture small birds, and feathers offer very little protection against venomous fangs. However, if given the chance, birds will pick off an out-of-position spider in an instant, and
Sure,
the
it
bird's
will.
armored beak presents no opportunity for the spider to counterattack. Taking out a spider is worth a lot of XP for birds, as they can also steal all of the insects
Definitely
that are
water
trapped in
it
its
too.
web.
The
One of
gecko.
the spider's worst matchups is against bats, which is surprising because it's another flyer. This is because the
Does anyone else forget that bats actually exist? I always forget bats exist until I realize that Batman is based off something.
is against bats, which is surprising because it's another flyer. This is because the spider's double team technique has to be used on reaction. So if a spider ever fails to see an enemy coming, it could easily get one shot before it has a chance to respond.
It can't
This
use
makes
the
them
blur
especially
skill.
vulnerable to
Okay.
builds with the echolocation
Unless it has
ability,
aggro.
as they can strike from total
Or knows it
darkness,
has
giving the
aggro.
spider zero chance to detect the incoming attack before it's too late. And lastly, this isn't a matchup per se, but one of the
I
other
have,
weaknesses
like,
spiders
5
have
as well,
are storms.
Sylvie.
Severe weather events affect web-building spiders much more negatively than most characters, as high winds and heavy precipitation can render a web
I do
ineffective
like
if it
how
doesn't just
water looks
outright
on
destroy it.
cobwebs though.
All of this to say, if you take away silk spinning, spiders are actually a real mixed bag when it comes to their viability in the meta.
Wait, some spiders send their webs to the sky to trap them. What do you mean by send? I thought they just like set it up. You mean like they let it fly? Like he showed us one of them flying off in the distance. So you're telling me one just sent a rope up in the sky to catch it? That's crazy.
But with access to spinnerets, many of them jump from
This-
low mid-tier to high tier.
This pisses
with
me
jumping
off, bro.
spiders in particular being arguably
Exactly.
top tier.
Insane.
Silk really is just that broken. Knowledge of the enemy's weak points and vulnerability.
Respect to you, but I'm gonna skip this. Is it the rest of the video? Oh, okay. W Tier Zoo. Shouts out Tier Zoo. Yeah, W video though.